Hey there, this is Matt once again, and welcome back to another review. This time is for Unconditional Prawn, which had sent me two movies, including this one, Capricorn One, which is directed by Peter Hyams. Now, Peter Hyams is one of those directors I would definitely say is one of my favorite directors. He's done a lot of stuff I enjoy. Outland with Sean Connery, which is my favorite Sean Connery movie. 2010, which I think is a great sequel to 2001: A Space Odyssey. And it has Roy Scheider and John Lithgow. Love 2010. There's Outland with Sean Connery, Running Steer with Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines, which is a fun buddy cop movie. End of Days, which is one of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Time Cop, which is one of Van Damme's best movies. Love Time Cop. The Relic, which is one of my more favorite creature feature films. So he's done a lot of great stuff, Peter Hyams. Stay Tuned, which is a very fun, underrated comedy. Peter Hyams has done a lot of great stuff. And this is one I had heard of and had only seen bits and pieces of. But Capricorn One, it came out in the 70s, around 1977. Although this says 1978. It's weird. Some places say 77, but this back of the DVD says 78. And it has quite a bit of a cast. You have Elliott Gould, James Brolin, who I remember from films like Westworld, which I liked, and the original the Amityville Horror. Sam Waterston, who I remember from a very underrated film that I reviewed called Warning Sign. Great movie. Yes, you do have O.J. Simpson. From the author of If I Did It, if I killed my wife, this is how I would do it. Yes, that O.J. Simpson is in this fucking movie. Our co-star of the Naked Gun movies. You also have Holbrook, who has been in many films like The Fog and the original The Fog. A very underrated film called Rituals from the 70s. You also have Karen Black from Trilogy of Terror. And yes, even Telly Savalas, who loves it, baby. Telly Savalas, Kojak himself. He doesn't appear till like the last 15 minutes, but he has a fun part as this crop duster who helps our lead characters when they need it. Now, is this special edition? That's pretty much just, it has a commentary by Peter Hyams, which I did not listen to. I didn't have time. Flights of Fancy featurette, which is not really about the making of the film. It's more about the conspiracy theories, which this film kind of brings up. Trailers, and that's pretty much it. And it's weird this doesn't have more features because you can find some on YouTube that are not on this DVD. And when this film came out, it was a surprise hit. It was like one of those, didn't cost that much, but sort of an independent film, but it made quite a bit of coin, quite a bit of money. From Granada International and Lionsgate. I didn't know Lionsgate owns this now. Very generic cover, though. This is a pretty shitty cover. Is this a sequel to Moontrap? I mean, what is that cover? The idea is a very interesting idea. Because around the time this movie was made, there was a lot of conspiracy theories. Well, even to this day, there's that. That we did not go to the moon. That it was fate, and instead it was shot in a studio. Hence, like here, you have a bunch of cameras and stuff. That we never went to the moon. It was shot. Of course, if you watch Room 237, apparently Stanley Kubrick shot it. Of course, there's fucking morons today. The Earth is flat. What about we've been in outer space and taking like thousands of pictures? Well, the Earth is still flat. Only you're a moron. I swear to God, people who think the world is flat should not have kids and should not breed. I'm sorry. Oh, that's rude. No, if you think the world is flat, you should not breed. Do not feel the need for breed. Just feel the need for speed. Just that must be what you take in if you think the world is flat. But that's a different thing. So that conspiracy theory is floating around. So I think he came with this. Yeah, he wrote this film, Peter Hyams. What if we went to Mars, but then something goes wrong, and secretly our 3 astronauts, Sam Waterston, James Brolin, O.J. Simpson, they're secretly taken out and flown somewhere, hush hush, while the rocket goes on like usual. And why would they do that based on the movie? Well, Holbrook, who's with NASA, explains, well, they're bitching about how much it costs and how, when we landed on the moon, it was such a great event. But nowadays, if you have a moon landing, people get pissed that they canceled the reruns of I Love Lucy. And it's like, really quickly, people lost interest in the space program, and they're looking for a reason to cancel the program, and any one big event gives them a reason to cancel it, and they realized that the shuttle had a faulty life support system, so we took you guys out because you wouldn't be able to survive. We let the shuttle go, we had some stuff recorded there, and we're going to film you guys on this set. And I probably would have liked a bit more on the set of them filming on the set. You only get a little bit where it's them actually like landing and walking around and putting up the flag. But I would have liked a little bit more on that warehouse that they're in. And Elliott Gould is in the movie because that's him there. He's a reporter who has a friend with NASA, and then this guy at NASA realizes something is off, and that guy disappears. So Elliott Gould is trying to find his friend, and things start happening. His brakes at his car go out. And that's a really good scene. Like, Peter Hyams, there's some very well-shot, well-directed sequences in this movie. Like, when the brakes go out, there's some nice point-of-view shots of the car going very fast around, like, through this narrow alleyway and going up this bridge, and then the car falls into the water, or going left and right along the highway trying to avoid other cars. Some really good looking shots, some nice, I don't know if cinematography is the right word, but just nice looking shots. Very effective, well handled directing. There's another moment where he goes somewhere and he gets shot at and he has to hide for a bit because he's looking too much into it. Meanwhile, when the shuttle comes back, the heat shield fucks up, it destroys the thing, so they have to announce, oh, these people are dead, and then the 3 astronauts realize, oh shit, well, that means they're going to make us disappear now, because otherwise, if we're found alive, then it'll be too many questions. And yeah, you could talk about how unrealistic the movie is, but I thought I like the idea. I like the concept. And then these 3 astronauts try to escape. They go in different directions, trying to survive in the desert while Elliott Gould is asking questions. Karen Black plays another sort of a friend of Elliott Gould who helps him out a bit. And I thought Elliott Gould, he did a pretty decent job in the lead. I thought the dialogue is sometimes very, I don't know, it's like sometimes trying to be sarcastic, but being very steady with its dialogue reading. Oh, hey, how's it going? Doing well. That's not sarcastic, but I'm trying to think of the actual words they use, but some would deem it as flat, but I thought Elliott Gould did a pretty good job. I thought he did a pretty good job as the lead. I almost wanted to see more of him. maybe more of him investigating into this, more into him looking into these things. Let's say he has to get physical fights or anything, but maybe a little bit more into the action. Because, like, the first hour is the setup, the launch of the shuttle. They film this thing on Mars where they land and they put the flag up. Elliott Gould, that's when his friend disappears and the brakes go out. And then by the hour mark, that's when the shuttle comes back but fucks up and they gotta escape. And then when the three split up, the other two get caught, and then it's James Brolin just trying to survive in the desert while these helicopters are chasing him or trying to find him. Elliott Gould gets some info, finds his warehouse, then finds this other thing, finds out from James Brolin's widow, who thinks he's dead, puts two and two together, goes to his place. That's where you get Telly Savalas, who's his crop duster. He's a lot of fun. I kind of wish he was in the movie more. Telly Savalas, he's very entertaining in this role. It's A and A. It's A and A. Guess which one is mine? The first one. Nope. Can I get a second guess? The second one. Nope. They're both mine. Supposed to be my son. He let to become a lawyer. He's probably a pervert. like Telly Savalas, he's one of those guys that has a presence, and he's very entertaining. I wish he was in the movie a lot more. Like when Elliott Gould gets in the cockpit, he's in the front, Telly Savalas in the back, and Telly Savalas keeps telling him, "Put your goddamn head down." Hey, I said, "Can you keep your goddamn head down?" And they get James Brolin, they get chased by these two helicopters, and man, you get some really excellent photography. Like real helicopters and a real crop duster plane and like real people in, and James Brolin's character is hanging off the wing of the plane, and there's these wide shots where it's real people hanging off the plane and like going very low to the ground and going around these cliffs, all done for real. And then there's a point where the helicopter's trying to land on the crop duster wing to make it go down. You get some really cool looking shots. Just some really cool looking shots. I would have said spoilers, but I mean, this is a film, what was it? 77, 87, 97, 07, 17. I mean, over 40 years old. Oh, God, wow, 40 years old. Well, if it's 1978, it would exactly be 40 years old. That's what I mean. It says 78, but on IMDb and Wikipedia it says 77, so I don't know how to label this, 77 or 78. I don't know, maybe I'll put 78. I'm like, the DVD said 78. I don't know. But man, 40 years. And that's sad. Like, you have some really good looking shots of real helicopters or real airplanes. But yet nowadays you just have these shitty video game CGI planes that do not look good. They look fake and phony, and they're not. It holds the shot in this, and I already gave enough spoilers, but spoiler for the final shot of the movie. I'll put this down when I'm done talking about it. The last shot is weird because Elliott Gould takes James Brolin to his own funeral to show that, hey, he's still alive. But the director did this weird thing where it would cut to the people at the funeral, like, reacting in normal time. Like, they're looking back. Like, to the widow, looking back. Normal speed. And then it cuts to Elliott Gould and James Brolin walking in slow motion. Then it cuts to one of the other head guys looking back. Normal speed. Then it cuts to Elliott Gould and James Brolin still going slow motion. Then it cuts to Hal Holbrook looking back, realizing, in normal speed. And then it cuts back to Elliott Gould and James Brolin, still going slow motion. I'm like, oh shit, they're calling that slow-mo from Dread. Like someone gave him that slow-mo from Dread. Oh shit, where's the law? Mama's not the law. There's the law. They're on slow-mo. They've caught him in slow motion. Put him in ludicrous speed already. And even the freeze frame is awkward because like Elliott Gould has been one of our main characters. But imagine if this is James Brolin. James Brolin's like up in front, and then Elliott Gould's like this, with half his face hidden behind James Brolin and freeze frames. Wouldn't you have the freeze frame be like the two guys next to each other? Like, because there are two main guys in this movie. But instead it's sort of like, ding. So that was weird. I thought that could have been handled better. And one thing I mentioned though, you have a music by Jerry Goldsmith, which is a decent score. I wouldn't say it's not for me one of his. For me, this is one of his lesser scores. I would say I would definitely prefer the scores he did to Leviathan or the Rambo films, Inner Space, Alien, Runaway, among many others, Star Trek the Motion Picture. But this was still a pretty decent score. It's not a bad score at all. I mean, it's Jerry Goldsmith. So it's always nice to listen to a new piece of Jerry Goldsmith music. My favorite composer, Miss Jerry Goldsmith. But yeah, at the end of the day, I thought some of the suspense worked very well. It's that 70s conspiracy theory, political. I wouldn't say political, but it's 1970s conspiracy theory thrillers. And it's a well-shot movie. I mean, Peter Hyams, I think he grew up as a DP, director of photography, so he knows how to frame and shoot his sequences to make them look good. He has a good eye. The cast makes the film worth a watch. I really like Elliott Gould. I think James Brolin as one of the astronauts, he did great. Yeah, it's always weird to see O.J. Simpson. So that's definitely something. It's cool to see Sam Waterston. He doesn't have a lot to do or a lot to say. Like this one joke as he's climbing up this cliff. That's like one of his big scenes. Hal Holbrook, always likes to see him. He's a good actor. Telly Savalas, wish he was in the movie more, but he's definitely one of my favorite parts. James Karen makes a small appearance at the beginning of the film as the vice president. James Karen, he was a guy in Poltergeist who Craig T. Nelson's going, "You only moved the headstones! Why? Why?" The guy he's talking to is James Karen. And James Karen, he's one of the guys with Tom Matthews in Return of the Living Dead. And they both came back as different characters, but supposed to be pretty much the same. And in the Return of the Living Dead Part 2, it was Tom Matthews and James Karen. So it was nice to see James Karen in there for the tiny bit he was in. And yeah, overall, I think it's a well-made film. Like I said, it has some nice moments of suspense. Feels a little bit lengthy. It's a little bit over 2 hours. Didn't they need to be that long? And like some weird stuff like the last shot with the slow-mo bits and... But other than that, and the stuff I said before, so I don't just repeat myself, overall, I liked Capricorn One. I didn't love it, but I liked it decently. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite Peter Hyams films, but it's definitely better than... What the hell was that movie called? Beyond a Reasonable Doubt. It's definitely better than that. But yeah, I would put Stay Tuned, End of Days, The Relic, 2010, Running Scared, Stay Tuned, End of Days, Time Cop. I would put Sudden Death above it with Van Damme. I would put, even though I have some issues with that Sudden Death, but still, yeah, some nice stunt work. And Van Damme fighting a penguin mascot I have to put that above this just for that scene alone. Even though it sounded like I have more issues with that than this, it's Jean-Claude Van Damme fights a penguin mascot. So, yeah, I gotta put it above this. But I'm a big Jean-Claude Van Damme fan. But still, I think if you're a Peter Hyams film fan, I was trying to say both, but I fucked up. If you're a Peter Hyams fan, or if you're a fan of his films, it's worth a look. It's not an action film. It's more of a thriller, like conspiracy theory thriller. And for the cast and the direction, it's well worth a watch. And this is what the inside looks like for those curious. But yeah, thanks to Unconditional Prawn for sending this to me. Thanks for watching. Take care. And we will see you in the next review. Bye-bye.